صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروني ولا تكفرون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين. ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون. فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروني ولا تكفرون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين. ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون. ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين وبشر الصابرين. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
محمد. सलावत बआवाज़ बुलंद सल्ले अला मुहम्मद मुहम्मद। हर मोमिन की خواہشات میں سے جو آخری خواہش یہ بھی ہوتی ہے کہ جب تک زندہ رہیں جب تک کہ علی علی کرتے رہیں، اور جب دنیا میں نہ رہیں تب بھی لحد میں اور آخرت میں علی علی کرتے رہیں. اس کے لیے 4 مصرے آپ کی نظر کر رہا ہوں. لحد ہو بند مگر حسرت دلی نکلے. لحد ہو بند مگر حسرت دلی نکلے. صدا مزار سے یا رب ولی ولی نکلے. صدا مزار سے یا رب ولی ولی نکلے. اور فرشتے قبر میں پوچھیں جو رشتہ الفت. وہ فرشتے قبر میں پوچھیں جو رشتہ الفت. ہر ایک تارے کفن سے علی علی نکلے. لحد ہو بند. صلوات پڑھیں باعث بلند. شہزادہ حضرت علی اکبر کے لیے ایک سلام کے کچھ اشعار ہیں. جب انہوں نے اپنے بابا کو پکارا اور اس کے بعد جو بابا ان کے گئے سید الشہداء، تو ان کے درمیان جو مکالمے ہوئے اس کے لیے کچھ چند اشعار جو آپ کی خدمت پیش کر رہا ہوں. اماں کی نگاہوں سے کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے. اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا. اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا. کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے. اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا. اور جی چاہتا ہے آپ کی تسلیم کو ٹھوں. رتبے کا تقاضا ہے کہ تعظیم کو ٹھوں. پر مشکل ہے مگر ہاتھ کلے جیسے ہٹانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، اور میں جانتا ہوں تم کو، میں جانتا ہوں ضد وہ بہت تم سے کرے گی، تنہا تمہیں زینب کبھی آنے نہیں دے گی، اور مقتل میں میری پالنے والی کو نہ لانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اور یہ سوچ کہ اکبر کا پھٹا جاتا ہے سینہ، یہ سوچ کہ اکبر کا پھٹا جاتا ہے سینہ، کہ آواز نہ سن لے کہیں معصوم سکینہ، اور سجاد کو آہستہ ذرا جا کے بتانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، ماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، اور اللہ کرے لوٹ کے تم جاؤ وطن کو، مجبوریاں بھائی کی بتا دینا بہن کو، تم میری طرف سے اسے سینے سے لگانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اور قاتل نے سینہ توڑی تکلم یہی کہہ کر، سنتا ہوں کہ صابر ہے بہت صبت پیمبر، اکبر نے کہا صبر کی میں راج دکھانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، صلوات پڑھیں۔
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to take this opportunity to first and foremost thank the Mahdi youth for giving me another opportunity to come here and recite and share a few verses of poetry. And my deepest condolences on this day go to the Imam of the time and to all of you. Inshallah, we can start by sending a heartfelt salam to Abu Abdullah on this day. Join me, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Sallallahu alayka ya Abu Abdullah وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله الآخر العهد مني لزيارتكم جميعا. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Bismillah, inshallah, I'll be reciting a few words of poetry for the ones that we just mentioned. For Ali ibn al-Husayn, the one who resembled the Prophet the most in character and seerah and in his characteristics, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. With the loudest of your salawat, I can inshallah begin. Salawat ala Muhammad. The path we tread, followed by the scent of the dead. For if death do me part, it does not define my end. For you the light upon this path, the heavens light, no sign of blight, an end befitting of God's most beloved men. For we are few and they may be many. For we are pure and their hearts split in multiplicity. Clarity to us and the path of the victorious. Clemency for us and away with the notorious. Each word echoing throughout space and time. Letting you go, God is a witness that twice I'd see an end to my dearest one's demise in just one lifetime. My breath chanting slowly as you pace on. My heart trembling as each strike you take on. Akbar, oh Ali al-Akbar. I bled as I carried on to your body, hearing breaths just running partly as they surround me and begin to ridicule, none to console me, my eyes filled with a red-colored hue. Is this yours or from your departure away from me? You left me to swim in oceans of grief, for life to me no longer sweet. My dear one, you took with life all its riches. You took with life all its riches, leaving behind a void dark and meek. I say I can't see, guide my hand to where the spear was planted. Akbar, is it the chest that I'm a wish? Or is it the chest of the prophet? Answer me, O light of my eyes. Please from me hide not your wounds. Thirsty you left this world filled with the cruel, leaving me to be by their swords quenched. Open your eyes just one last time. Aunt Zainab wishes to say her last goodbye. How to your mother's eyes can I hide my bloodied beard? I would take a step and I'd fall to my face. Why to me do you not make a call? If not for your body, what is holding me steady? A life to live without you, I'm not ready. I came to you on my knees, pleasing to God with a heart heavy. Take from me every soul, cherished are you and you alone. Another part of me scattered, his chest like a letter torn and tattered. Guide my path, O Abbas. Lift me up with his corpse. Take me back to the tents. If I see his wound again, maybe I'd die from tears. Oh Akbar, don't you respond, leaving a father with a wound that cuts deeper than any blade, that hurts more than the dried out throat that sees only burning smoke. Oh Akbar, why don't you respond? Salawat ala Muhammad wa
صلوات على محمد وعلى محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We begin by sending our deepest condolences to the Imam of our time, Ajullah Ta'ala Farajah, and to all of you as we gather once again to remember the tragedy of Karbala and the sacrifice of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. A reminder that our nightly programs continue on for 11 nights throughout the first Ashra of Muhurram. The schedule is as follows. We start with 7:45 p.m. with Quran recitation, followed by Salam and Murcia, and then Majlis delivered by Sheikh Salim Yusufali, who we're honored to have with us this Muhurram from San Jose, California, who's following a series titled The Great Deceivers. We then conclude with Noha and Ziyarat. Let us all arrive on time and maintain the sanctity of the space during the program. We also request that when arriving and leaving, you follow the instructions of the parking team in order to make the process easier for everyone, inshallah. A reminder that these programs are only available and only possible with your generosity, and not just these programs, any programs that Mahdi Youth does throughout the year, we do it based on your donations. So I'd like to ask you, please, if you have a few minutes, when you're coming in tomorrow, or a few minutes before namaz, after namaz, our table in the shoe area is there for you, and you can come see us, and we can help you figure out how you can contribute, inshallah. By popular demand, the one-on-one sessions with Sheikh Salim Yusufali, called Alim Hours, have been extended by 1 day. We've added another 4 sessions for Saturday, 7 to 8 once again, So if you'd like to book a 15-minute slot, we have 4 available on Saturday, and it can be booked through the same link as before, which you can find on our socials or come visit at the front desk. I'd like to take a moment and ask you guys to fill out a form. If we could put it up on the screen real quick. Yeah. So this is a quick feedback form. We'd just like to know a little bit more about you. Alhamdulillah, we've been seeing a lot more new faces this Muhurram that we haven't seen before. So we figured it was important for us to get to know you. So if you could just take a few minutes, take out your phone now, inshallah, scan the QR code, just take a few seconds to fill out the form. It's just a couple of basic questions on who you are, where you're from, what drew you to the center today, as well as how you're finding the program so far. So please take a few seconds and scan the form. And to give you that time, we'll recite aloud salawat. A quick reminder that tonight is the final discussion that we're hosting with Sheikh Salim Yusufali. It is a co-ed discussion downstairs in the basement and will be taking place at 10 p.m. There is a divider set up to divide the basement into 2 halves for the brothers and the sisters. For the brothers, at around 9:55 to 10 p.m., we can make our way down the stairs over here, the normal basement entrance. And for the sisters, we ask you to enter from the exterior entrance outside. If you're not aware of where that is, please visit the sisters' front desk booth to have someone guide you there, inshallah. Please note that this discussion is also only for ages 14 plus, and we hope to see you all there, inshallah. There is also a parallel children's program each night in the basement for ages 4 to 11. And those with children in that age range, we encourage you to bring your children there, where they'll participate in age-appropriate programming during the English lecture. I also ask all of you to be mindful and patient with our youngest attendees and their families, so we can foster a welcoming environment that nurtures their connection to Imam Hussain alayhi salam, inshallah. Lastly, before we move on, I'd like to invite up the AFC to talk about what they do. So if we could all give them our attention, inshallah, for 2 minutes. Let's invite them up with a loud salawat.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So, for those of you who don't know, AFC first off stands for Al-Mahdi Finance Committee, and we're in charge of raising and now beginning the raise of funds for our new building. Picture of it up there. But it's an honor for me to take this time tonight and talk about sort of a major milestone that we are embarking on. We're excited to share that, inshallah, construction for the new Al-Mahdi Community Center will begin by the end of this month. So a loud salawat for that, I hope. I think we all know that this is a long-awaited milestone for our community, and through your continued support, du'as, and commitment, we will achieve it. With Allah's blessings and your help, inshallah, we will achieve partial occupancy in 18 months from now. So what that means is that by December 2026, we can have our first program there. So another salawat for that. And to give a little bit of detail of what the new facility will bring to all of us, the building itself is 55,000 square feet. So to give you an idea, if you have been to Bathurst, for example, it's 150,000 square feet. So think about 1/3 of the size. So what that means for us is that we're going to have spacious prayer halls, a full-size gymnasium, a banquet hall, classrooms for Darul Quran, a sports field outside, and much more. Now again, this facility will encompass all of these items, which will be for all of us.
So tonight we turn once again to you, backbone of our community, and we are seeking support for the new facility through pledges. So if you do scan, and it seems like we love QR codes around here, but if you do scan the QR code that's on screen today, we're asking for pledges. We're not going to transact today. So what that means is when you scan that thing, and if you take your phones out and actually scan, it's just a simple form that asks for either a one-time or a monthly pledge. And it can, on a monthly basis, you can do whatever you want, you know, $1, $5, $20, $100, whatever it is that you're comfortable in doing. And again, we will not be transacting the pledge today. We will inevitably in the coming weeks reach out to you to collect. So I hope we can come together, and I know we will, to build our new center. It's not just as a structure, but a legacy of faith, unity, and at the end, for the sake of Imam, Ajlallahu Taraf. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajum. There is a table set up outside, and if there are questions, comments, so on and so forth, we will be here from now till Saturday. And I hope again that do look at this as as the beginning of what we have all been waiting for a long time. And again, this month construction is starting, and it's only going to happen with everybody rallying together, coming together, and making it a reality for us for generations to come. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Just one final thing. Please recite a Surah Fatiha for the following marhumin. Shamshad Hussain bint Mirza, Shamshad Hussain ibn Mirza Inayat Ali, Akhtar Hussain ibn Altaf Hussain, Sayyid Nawab Hassan Zaidi ibn Sayyid Sibte Hassan Zaidi, the marhumin of the Sheikh family, the marhumin of Sayyid Kambar Raza, and Masuma Zaidi. Al-Fatiha. Brothers, the hall is already starting to fill up, so as we invite up the Sheikh with 3 loud salawat, please move as far forward as you can. Sallallahu Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salli.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعن الله الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من يومنا هذا إلى قيام يوم الدين. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. If I can request you to recite one more salawat, please. Respected scholars, elders, brothers, sisters, may Allah reward you for your participation in the majlis of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. May Allah count you among the mourners of Imam Hussein, and may Allah grant you the shafa'ah of his grandmother Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam on the Day of Judgment on account of your good intentions. Today, just to begin, I want to share something. I saw a clip on social media that really shook me, and I wanted to share it. It was a clip from Lebanon of a number of young men who had been injured in the recent pager sabotage attacks. As you're aware, one of the very dirty techniques that was made use of by the settler colonialist project known as Israel. What they did is they sabotaged these pagers, and the pagers exploded at a certain time. Many civilians were killed. Many freedom fighters were killed and injured. And many lost eyes, many were maimed. So the clip was showing how a number of these individuals, now that it's the 10 days of Muhurram, even though they've been handicapped in a severe way, they are dedicating themselves to serve the azadaran of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Some of them are serving drinks, some of them are serving food, some of them are helping in other ways. And it just was so inspiring to see that when somebody is connected to the mission of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, that they find a way against all odds and despite all difficulties, one way or the other, they are going to find a way to connect them to that mission and to be at the service of the cause of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. May Allah grant us that type of spirit to always be in service of this cause. One more salawat, please. Brothers and sisters, the topic that we've had the tawfiq to be exploring over these last number of evenings is the topic of the great deceivers. We've been looking at ways in which the shaitan is able to greatly deceive human beings. Deception in a way that not only they get a deceived view on reality, but deception in a way that they make decisions that harm themselves. And we looked at different techniques and ways that shaitan deceives and he plays human beings. One of them is through giving them a distorted view of reality. One of them that we covered is through adorning things and making them look good. Another way is through attacking human beings through their emotions and getting them to create heart attachments to things which are sources of their destruction. Tonight, with the help of Allah, we want to begin looking at the topic of the wa'ad of shaitan. Wa'ad and wa'id. Wa'ad and wa'id means promises and threats. The Quran informs us that one of the main ways that shaitan is able to deceive us is through false promises and false threats. Let's take a look at some of the ayat that we have from the Quran. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Al-Isra, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, in Surah Al-Nisa, يَعِدُهُمْ وَيُمَنِّيهِمْ وَمَا يَعِدُهُمَ الشَّيْطَانُ إِلَّا غُرُورًا. The shaitan is consistently engaged in this practice of making false promises and of creating false hopes. But Allah warns us and tells us that indeed the promises of the shaitan are nothing but mere deception. In another ayah, Allah Ta'ala gives Iblis this permission to trick human beings in this way. This is part of our test. He says, عِدْهُمْ وَعِدْهُمْ وَمَا يَعِدُهُمَ الشَّيْطَانُ إِلَّا غُرُورًا. This is from Surah Al-Isra. He tells Iblis, go and make these false promises to them. But he then tells us that what the shaitan promises is nothing but deception. Now, in order for us to understand this a little bit better, I want to give some concrete examples that I think all of us can relate to. We human beings, we like to think of ourselves as very sophisticated. And alhamdulillah, we are in many ways. But we have our weak points. And these weak points are vulnerabilities which those who are aware of them can take advantage of them and exploit them for their benefit. We see that happen in the world of advertising. One of the ways that advertisers are successful is that they understand the psychology of a human being and they're able to tap into those sensitive points. One of the types of advertising is called positive advertising. One of them is negative. Positive is when you're told that if you do something and you buy into whatever it is, then something good is going to happen to you. And one of them is negative, that if you don't do this, then be warned, this is what's going to happen to you. Okay, let me make it a little bit more concrete so that we can understand. Perhaps the most, according to what people say, the most famous commercial that was ever made in the history of human beings is a commercial which is called 1984. And you can guess it was made in 1984. And I see some of the younger people nodding their heads and the older people are looking at me like, what are you guys talking about? But anyways, okay, 1984. So what happened in 1984 is that Apple Computers comes out with their flagship product, which is known as the Macintosh. Okay, now I come from a tech background, right? And the first computer that people like myself had was known as a PC. Okay, PCs were made by this company called IBM. And IBM was known for being like this big company, very standard, not very exciting, kind of boring, right? Now Apple wanted to be like the sort of the young, person on the scene, the renegade, the rebel. So they come out with a commercial where they show that society has become this like George Orwellian type of 1984 scenario where everyone is just like a cog and everyone is commanded to do a certain thing. There's like martial law, but there's somebody who's going to rebel against the system, and this person is representing the Macintosh computer, right? So this is how they came out, and as you know, Apple was pretty successful. Right? That eventually became the Mac, and you guys know what happened from there. Now, if you examine this from a truth perspective, right? Was it the case that Macintosh was going to be like this sort of thing that broke all conventions and let people be like break out of the system? Those who understand computers actually know that it was the opposite, right? Like back in the days when we would, play around with hardware and whatnot. If you want to play out with the hardware, you want to flip out like hard drives and you want to change like controllers and put in new network cards and all those things. You would do it with what kind of computer? With a PC, right? You wouldn't do it with a Mac. Nobody would open the inside of a Mac. Maybe someone like Sayyid Kamil would, because this is his speciality, right? But for most of us, right, we would never go and open up a Mac. It's like untouchable, right? So they had the closed ecosystem, but the PCs had the open one. I don't want to go into that too much. The point, brothers and sisters, is that it was resoundingly successful, right? In the world today, you guys know better than me where the position of Apple and the position of IBM. That's an example of a negative advertising, right? That if you don't do this, then you're going to be a conformist and you're going to be controlled by the system, okay? On the other hand, right, advertisers make use of positive advertising as well too, right? One of, again, the most popular, advertising of all times, right? And this is relevant, right? This was in 1971, which was the peak of the Vietnam War. The world is fighting, right? And it kind of reminds us, like right now, the situation with like war and military spending and all these things that are taking place, indiscriminate bombing and whatnot. It reminds us, and there's some similarities, and we know history repeats itself. In the heart of that, there's a commercial in which it's a beautiful scene of people coming together from all different nationalities. And they all coming together on a very beautiful hill, and they all come and they're all sort of united, and their hearts are together. And the thing that unites them, of course, is nothing but Coca-Cola, right? So this is the way it is, right? So go ahead, if you want to be unified, then unify around Coca-Cola. And we all know that Coca-Cola is not a source of unification, right? But this is what a very successful advertising campaign is able to accomplish. I give these examples, brothers and sisters, to help us understand the way that we human beings work. We're very simple at times. We know that we have limitations in terms of understanding what's going to happen to us in the future. We're not even sure what's going to happen to us in the next minute. We know that we're incapable. We have very limited power. And so when it comes to the unknowns, we're looking for some assurance. We want to know what's going to happen. Right now, it's been 3 years, right, since this recent aggression, escalation has been happening in Gaza. And a lot of people are just to the point of like, they're asking when, what's going to happen? We're so distraught. We're so destroyed in terms of like seeing so many images beaming to us night after night, day after day. It's just horrific. And this is where we need some promises. And Allah knows this. Allah says, الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء. There is an entity which makes promises. Shaitan, and those who resemble Shaitan, one of the things he does is he promises poverty. He tells you that if you do something in the way of sacrifice, you sacrifice wealth, you sacrifice time, you give something of yourself, you're going to be losing out. So don't do that. He threatens you. And he orders you towards committing indecencies. وَاللَّهُ يَعِدُكُمْ مَغْفِرَةً مِّنْهُ وَفَضْلًا. But Allah has promises. And Allah promises you forgiveness, and He promises you bounty. So we are commanded to have trust in the promises of Allah and to ignore the promises of Shaitan. Allah plays out the script for us. He shows us what's going to happen on the Day of Judgment. He says that وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ لَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرِ. And Shaitan will say, when the affair has been determined, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَعَدَكُمْ وَعَدَ الصِّدْقِ. Allah promised to you, and His promises were promises of truthfulness. وَوَعَدْتُكُمْ. I promised you. فَأَخْلَفْتُكُمْ. But I broke my promises to you. So it's very clear, it's laid out for us that if we go for the promises of Shaitan, then we're going to be left alone, right? With all these false threats and false promises. We won't get anything, and we'll be filled with fear over things that we shouldn't be fearful of. This is the special trick of Shaitan. And I want to ask myself and all of us that we are believers, we are mu'mineen, we have faith in Allah, we have faith in the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. But how often is it the case that our hearts are filled with unnecessary fear, unnecessary worry, unnecessary grief? Yes, there is a place for all those emotions in a regulated way for beneficial purposes. But so many times we find that we're overcome by these types of feelings to a point where it arrests us and we're unable to enjoy the beauty of the iman that we have. So this is the purpose of our exploration of our topic for tonight. We have limited time, so I'm going to, rather than hurrying through it, I'm just going to introduce a couple of the main points and inshallah, with the help of Allah, leave the rest till tomorrow. Please recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, one of the areas where shaitan gets very active and starts to make those threats and starts to give the false promises is when we are tested and tried and we find difficulties in our life. When we come to these 10 days of Muhurram, I know that we're coming and many of us have difficulties, right? We know that as we get closer to the dhuhr of the Imam, inshallah, may Allah hasten that, we know that believers will be tested and tested even more. When we look at the situation of the world powers and different things that are happening, we can see that there's a squeeze taking place. And it's hitting us in many different ways. It can be on an emotional level, in our families, in our jobs, in our communities and societies, political difficulties. When we have these difficulties, it's very often that shaitan will start to get active and begin to do waswas and start to feed us some of that negative propaganda. I'll give you an example. One of the things that shaitan will say in many different ways to us is that you should be looking to have a life which is free of difficulties. A good life is a life which is free of any difficulty. Sometimes you see parents, they make a mistake even when they raise their children. They want to raise them in a way which is very artificial, right? When we were young, we used to go to the playground. We would scrape our knees, right? We would sometimes break a leg and so on, other things. But that's kind of part of growing up. But sometimes you see parents, like they try to be so helicopter roving over their children that even the slightest scratch, they'll rush at them and be like, oh, my beta, you scratched your leg, let me take care of that for you. That's so artificial. That's not what real life is like. So one of the things that shaitan comes is that he says you should fear trial and difficulty. If it comes your way, then you should be very worried and very fearful. And this is the reality. Sometimes people are hit with some sort of difficulty and it's like the world has crashed down on them. And yes, it is the case that it's not easy. I want to sympathize and acknowledge that difficulties are difficult to bear. And sometimes they're very weighty. And we have a haqq to be emotionally responsive to them and to feel grief and feel sad. But sometimes it gets to the point where shaitan is able to scare somebody and say there's no hope in this situation. It's not good for you. And this is where we need to examine what is the whole philosophy behind being tested. There is a philosophy which is pushed in the agenda of the modern world, which is that difficulty should be avoided, difficulty should be ignored, just try to be happy at all times. But this is a very shallow philosophy. I'll give you a few examples we have from the beautiful traditions of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. One of them is from Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam. He hears a man saying that, "Oh Allah, protect me from any type of trial."
And Imam alayhi salam, when he hears that from him, he corrects him. He says, don't say that. Don't say that, may Allah protect me from any type of trial. If you want to make a dua, then you say that, oh Allah, protect me from those type of trials which will be a source of making me be astray. Meaning what? Meaning that trial in its essence is not a bad thing. It's supposed to be there. It's part of the program. It's part of the wisdom of Allah for a human being to be tried. Why? Because Allah wants the best from us. The only way that we can achieve that is by being tried. We have a narration from Imam Baqir alayhi salam. He says that when Allah afflicts somebody with some sort of difficulty, if you want to understand the philosophy behind that, Imam Baqir alayhi salam explains this. He says that imagine that somebody from your family has gone on a trip and now they've come back again. Usually, like if you were to go and you came back to your family, let's say you're gone for a few weeks, what would you do? You just come back and you just like come in and be like normal? No, right? You would come back and usually you would give them some sort of souvenir, right? Why? Right? What is a souvenir for? Right? It's not that it itself, is something which is more, usually like, a souvenir is like, you're giving somebody like the 101st keychain. They already have 100, you're giving them a new one, right? It's not like really value in and of itself. But what is the point of giving them the souvenir? The point of giving them a souvenir is to tell them that even though I was gone during this time, I was thinking about you. And I took that time and effort, despite that I was away from you, to bring this for you, to show how much I care for you. Or the Imam alayhi says that think of a doctor who is giving some sort of treatment to or medicine to his patient in order to protect them from some sort of sickness. The medicine might be bitter. It might have some side effects. But the intention is to avert something which is worse for them. Brothers and sisters, this is a good time for us to reflect on this, that how is it that Allah has been with us? Right? If we look back to our history and we say that where did this whole thing start from, our life? Where did it come from? And in what way has Allah been with us from that time? Let me quote to you from Dua Arafah of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. What does he say? He says, O Allah, ibtada'tani bi ni'amatika qabla an akuna shay'an madhkura. O Allah, you began to pour your blessings down upon me before I was even a thing which was mentioned. Just think about that. That what did I do to deserve even coming into existence? And everything that has happened to me since then. Imagine somebody were to come to you every single morning. They knock at your door and they deliver to you a basket of food and drink. Exactly what you need in order to take care of your needs for that day. They do it once, they do it the next day, and the day after, and every single day. And you go running after them and you say, what can I do to thank you? What can I do to pay you for this? They're like, I don't even want you to mention it. Right? Wouldn't you be grateful for that? Wouldn't you say that this person has a lot of love for me? They care for me so much? When it comes to what Allah has done for us, we have in hadith, it's mentioned that Allah is the one who qawluhu fi'aluhu. Meaning that if you want to know how Allah speaks with us, what He says to us, look at what He does to us. Right? What does He do for us? Right? In all of His actions, what are those actions telling us? That we have someone who loves us, who cares for us, who is constantly supporting us, sustaining us. So many times He has averted from us difficulty. He swerved away bala that could have come with. So many times we don't remember Him, but He takes care of us. What happens when a difficulty comes our way, in our family, right, in our health, in our relationships? Should we look at that in a negative way and take faith in the promise of shaitan and the threats of shaitan that now this difficulty came to you, you need to be scared, you need to be fearful? Or should you take that in stride and say that because it's coming from the beloved, I am going to take this in stride, and I know that there's some good in there for me. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be asking him for help, but I'm never going to lose hope, and I'm never going to be fearful. There's a story that's told, you've heard it before. It goes back to this ancient love poetry, which was written about somebody fictitious named Layla and Majnun. Majnun was infatuated with Layla. And a lot of times our scholars, they refer to this because there's examples there that we can take from human love to help us understand a glimpse of what it would be like if we had ishq for Allah and we had that passion for Him. They say that one time Majnun had gone to fill up water in his water jug. And the custom at that time was that the men would go, and there would be one common watering place. The men would go to fill their water jugs, but if they saw that a lady was approaching, they would move aside, let her fill her jugs, and then they would continue. So Majnun is watering and filling up his jugs. And it just so happens that his beloved, the woman of his dreams, Layla, comes there. And she wants to fill up her jugs. So he steps aside. And as she fills up her jugs and she's done with that, and she's walking away, she kicks his jug and it breaks. And she leaves. So Majnun's friends start to tease him. Like, you're crazy. Right? This whole time, you've been Majnun, you're crazy and you're infatuated, and you see that the one who is your ma'ashuk, your beloved, she goes and she breaks your water jug. Why don't you give up? What does Majnun say? Majnun says that, yes, she kicked my jug. But why did she kick my jug and not somebody else's jug? She must have had attention on me. Imagine that person who brings that souvenir, right? They were thinking about that person. She must have had a reason for kicking my jug and not somebody else's jug. This is actually a sign that she cares for me. Brothers and sisters, when Allah tests us, when Allah puts us in difficult situations, given His infinite knowledge, given that everything happens according to a program, it's according to logic, it's according to wisdom, we know that even that is part of His rahmah and His wisdom towards us. And that's why we're told in hadith from Imam Askari Islam, he says that ma bin min baliyatin, meaning that every single time that you are put in a difficulty, you should know that that situation, you're surrounded with the mercy of Allah. And this is what we see in Karbala as well. I'll mention one quick incident and go into the Masa'ib. On the night of Ashura, you might have heard this before, but it really is thought-provoking. On the night of Ashura, where everyone there is very clear on what next day the fate they are going to meet, we see that one of the most illustrious companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, his name is Habib ibn Mudahir, that he is joking with his fellow companion. And the other companions looking at him said that, Habib, on this night, you're joking? Right? This is a grave situation. Now imagine, Habib is a companion of Rasulullah. He's a ashab al-sir of Imam Ali alayhi salam. He has knowledge, he has basira, he has faith, he has iman. He knows about the bala that they are about to meet. But he welcomes it and embraces it and has full faith, knowing that if it's coming from Allah, it's khair. And so in that situation, he's not tied down by worry after worry. He's not tied down questioning the wisdom of Allah. Oh Allah, why is it that you're making us face this fate? He's not doubting in the promise of Allah that Allah will give victory to the believers. At this time, his soul is light, his heart is light. So as a means of encouraging others, he can say those light words as well. This is inspiration for us, brothers and sisters, that inshallah, as our iman grows in these nights, we find that strength to be able to face difficulties and embrace them with the correct spirit. Please recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Tonight we want to remember a very difficult musibah from the events of the day of Ashura. In hadith we're told then when Allah really loves His servant, He tests them. And when He loves them in a special type of love, He tests them by taking away their wealth and by taking away their children. And we see that Imam Hussein alayhi salam was tested to the utmost level. When Nabi Yaqub was aware that Yusuf was alive, but that pain of separation was so much, how does the Quran describe him? He says that Yaqub alayhi salam says, يَا أَسَفَا عَلَى يُوسُفَ وَابْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ فَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. Meaning that, oh, alas for Yusuf. And he cried and he cried and he cried because of the separation so much that his eyes became white. And he lost his eyesight. But he was one who was able to control his anger. This was the separation from a son who's alive. But what types of bala and musibah did our master Imam Hussein alayhi salam have to face on the day of Ashura? With not only one child, but multiple children and his nephew and his brother. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Sallallahu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Sallallahu alayka أيها المقتول عطشانا بكربلاء. Peace and blessings be upon you, O Abu Abdullah. Peace and blessings be upon you and upon your noble family and upon your companions and upon your son Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar was not just a son of Imam Hussein, he was truly a descendant of the Ahlul Bayt. When they would remember Rasulullah and they would long to remember Rasulullah, they would turn to Ali Akbar. They would be reminded of Rasulullah. Ali Akbar was such a special son of Imam Hussein. At one point when Imam Hussein alayhi salam has a vision, and he is told in his vision that he is racing towards death, he asks Ali Akbar for his opinion. Ali Akbar tells him, "O my father, alasna ala al-haq, are we not on the path of truth?" Imam Hussein alayhi salam says, "Yes, indeed, by Allah, we are on the path of truth." Ali Akbar says, إِذَنْ لَا نُبَالِي بِالْمَوْتِ. In that case, we will never be concerned with dying or death. This is our honor to be on the path of Allah. On the day of Ashura, one by one companions give their sacrifice, but there comes to a time when there is no more companion standing. We are told that the first from the Ahlul Bayt who seeks permission to go to the battlefield is none other than Imam Hussein's none other than his oldest son Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar alayhi salam seeks permission from the Imam. On one hand, we're told that immediately Imam Hussein alayhi salam gives him permission to go. But as Ali Akbar is advancing towards the enemy, فَنَظَرَ إِلَيْهِ نَظَرَ آيِسٍ مِّنْ. Imam Hussein looks at him with a look of despair. On one hand, Imam Hussein accepts and he is pleased with the decree of Allah, but on the other hand, he knows that Ali Akbar is going to the battlefield. He will not be returning alive. Ali Akbar goes to the battlefield. He cries out, "Ana Ali ibn al-Hussein ibn Ali." I am Ali, the son of Hussein, the son of Ali. I am Ali, the son of Hussein, the son of Ali. نحن وبيت الله أولى بالنبي. We are by the house of Allah those who are closest to the Prophet. أما ترون كيف أحمي عن أبي. Don't you see how I defend my father? When Imam Hussein alayhi salam sees his son going to the enemy, he cries out. He says, "Oh Allah, bear witness that the one who is going towards them is the one who is most resembling Rasulullah." In what way was he resembling Rasulullah? In his looks, in his speech, and in his akhlaq. Oh Allah, the same way that Umar ibn Sa'd has cut me off from my own children, cut off him from his own descendants. Ali Akbar fights valiantly against the enemy. They say that every time he would attack on one side, a whole company of men would be defeated from one side to the other side until the enemy was screaming. They were saying, "What can we do? Who is this that's fighting? Is it Ali ibn Hussein or is it Ali ibn Abi Talib?" They cannot resist him. But we see something happening, something amazing. Suddenly Ali Akbar is coming back to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Why is he coming back? Is he weak? Is he tired? Brothers and sisters, if you have a time and a chance in your life to go back to your Imam one more time to say, "Khuda Hafiz," would you not do that? Ali Akbar goes back to his Imam. He says to him, "Ya Abati, Ya Abati, العطش قد قتلني وثقل الحديد قد أجهدني فهل إلى شربة من الماء السبيل." Oh my father, the thirst is killing me. This armor is oppressing me. If only there was a way to get some drink. Imam Hussein knows that Ali Akbar is looking for a special type of drink. He says, "Oh Ali Akbar, what you're seeking, it will be given to you soon. Qatil Khalila, just go and fight a bit. That drink you are searching for will be given to you. Who will give it to you? Your grandmother will give you that drink. And after that, I promise you, you will never be thirsty again." Ali Akbar goes back to the battlefield. He fights again. Yeah, but there is somebody there by the name of Munqidh. Munqidh realizes his opportunity. This is the son of Ali. This is the grandson of Rasulullah. He sees the son of Hussein. He realizes the opportunity. He launches his spear. The spear hits Ali Akbar. The horse of Ali Akbar is sent towards the enemy army. They all take their swords up, all of them together. They seize the opportunity. Ali Akbar cries out to his father, "Oh my father, alayhi salam, this is my grandfather. He is giving me that drink to drink. I am no longer thirsty. But my father is telling me to hurry up and come." And they raise their swords. And what do? فَقَتَلُوهُ إِرْبًا إِرْبًا. All of them together, they commit that heinous act. Ali Akbar is lying on the ground. Imam Hussein rushes towards him after the enemy has dissipated. I don't know what scene he sees, but we see him cry out, "This world is not worth living in after you, Ali Akbar." He places his cheek on the cheek of Ali Akbar. And we see now that Imam Hussein is not alone in his grief. He is joined by somebody else who has been observing the whole time. Who is it that joins him? Zainab alayhi salam comes from the tent, crying out, "Ya Habiba, wabnaka, wa لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. ما تنسى.
اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا اماں کی نگاہوں کس طرح کلیجے میں اتر آئی ہے برچی سینہ نہیں ارمان بھی ماں کے ہوئے زخمی چاہا تھا میری ماں نے مجھے دولہا بنانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا جی چاہتا ہے آپ کی تسلیم کو اٹھوں رتبے کا تقاضا ہے کہ تعظیم کو اٹھوں مشکل ہے مگر ہاتھ گلے جیسے ہٹانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے سے میرا زخم چھپانا اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا میں جانتا ہوں ضد وہ بہت تم سے کرے گی تنہا تمہیں زینب کبھی آنے نہیں دے گی مقتل میں میری پالنے والی کو نہ آنا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا یہ سوچ کے اکبر کا پھٹا جاتا ہے سینہ آواز نہ سن لے کہیں معصوم سکینہ سجاد کو آہستہ ذرا جا کے بتانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا اللہ کرے لوٹ کے تم جاؤ وطن کو مجبوریاں بھائی کی بتا دینا بہن کو تم میری طرف سے اسے سینے سے لگانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا قاتل نے سینہ توڑی تکلم
یہی کہہ کر سنتا ہوں کہ صابر ہے بہت صفتیں پیمبر. اکبر نے کہا صبر کی میں راج دکھانا کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے. ماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا, اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا.
سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. فرش مجلس کا بچھانے والی, فرش مجلس کا بچھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. جس نے سر کاٹے ہوئے بھائی کا دیکھا رن میں, جس نے سر کاٹے ہوئے بھائی کا دیکھا رن میں, صبر شبیر دکھانے والی, صبر شبیر دکھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی بانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. بن گئی شام میں غریباں میں جو عباس سے جری, بن گئی شام میں غریباں میں جو عباس سے جری. پیاسے اشکوں سے بجھانے والی, پیاسے اشکوں بجھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. جلنے خیموں سے بچا لائی امامت کی نشان, جلنے خیموں سے بچا لائی امامت کی نشان. آگے اشکوں سے بجھانے والی, آگے اشکوں سے بجھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. سات بھائی کا نبھانے والی آئی زندان میں زینب. ڈھونڈتی ہے ناری اصغر کو ہر ایک گوٹی میں, ڈھونڈتی ہے ناری اصغر کو ہر ایک گوٹی میں. جھولا ہاتھوں پہ جھولانے والی, جھولا ہاتھوں پہ جھولانے والی बाने वाली आई जिंदा ना तेरे दा फिरती हुई आई है बाजारों में तेरे दा फिरती हुई आई है बाजारों में वो मोहब्बत के घराने वाली वो मोहब्बत घराने वाली आई जिंदान में ज़ैनब सात भाई का निभाने आई जिंदान में ज़ैनब सात भाई आई जिंदान में ज़ैनब अश्किया कहते थे वो देखो वो ज़ैनब है अश्किया कहते थे वो देखो वो ज़ैनब है चेहरा बालों से छुपाने वाली चेहरा बालों से छुपाने वाली आई जिंदान में ज़ैनब सात भाई का निभाने वाली आई जिंदान
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Abdullah, Ya Abdullah, Ya Abdullah, Ya السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا حسن بن علي المجتبى السلام عليك يا سيد الشهداء السلام على الحسين وعلى يا ابن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحابه السلام عليك يا محمد بن علي السلام عليك يا جعفر بن محمد السلام عليك يا موسى بن جعفر السلام عليك يا علي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي السلام عليك يا صاحب النصر والسلام الأمان من فتنة الزمان السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن السلام عليك يا عين الحياة أجل الله تعالى فرجاك وسهل الله تعالى مهجاك وزهوك وجعلنا من أنصارك الله وبركاته
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله. أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وأبناءه المعصومين حجج الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. حي على خير العمل. حي على خير العمل. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم أموات. تعود بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات. بالفاتحة مع الصلوات.
أشهد أن عليا الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر بحول الله وقوته بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد ربنا أتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بحول الله وقوته سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. عجل فرجه. الله أكبر. بسم الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك والنجاة من النار ومن كل بلية والفوز بالجنة والرضوان في دار السلام وجوار نبيك محمد عليه وآله السلام. اللهم ما بنا من نعمة فمنك، لا إله إلا أنت. أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله. أشهد أن عليا حجة الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر بحول الله وقوته بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب وإنك على كل شيء قدير الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بحول الله وقوته سبحان الله والحمد لله سبحان الله والحمد لله سبحان الله والحمد لله الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته. سبحان الله والحمد لله. سبحان الله والحمد لله. سبحان الله والحمد لله. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.